Track Day Rewind, episode 10. This is it. We've fast forward a year and a half into the future. We've just completed our 1JZ conversion in the Sylvia. Yeah, it sounds a little bit different. This thing now has external wastegate. It makes 300 kilowatts, so 400 horsepower, and it is fun as hell to drive. This is the first track day, the first time I've ever driven the car, so I'm totally just getting a feel for it. Like, I have no idea how this car's gonna drive. We did a lot of suspension changes as well. A lot of things we didn't change that we probably should have. So we removed the front sway bar out of the front end because the engine physically couldn't fit with it in. We also removed some bracing so the car's a little bit more loose. Check it out, have a listen to this thing. It sounds nothing like the CA. So on this first track day, we just wanted to get a few things working. We ended up changing the handbrake, so we went from the cable to a hydraulic handbrake, so now we're running a twin caliper. So there's a whole bunch of changes we did at once. It kind of made it a little bit difficult to drive the car at the start of the day, in the rain especially, but once it dried up, we really got a feel for the car. Also to note, the 1J does weigh quite a little bit more than the CA package. We did go from a single turbo 4-cylinder to now a single turbo 6-cylinder. The gearbox is significantly heavier as well, so there's a lot more weight towards the front of the car. So when I'm actually dabbing on the foot brake once I'm handbraking in the initiation phase, the car just wants to spin out. So I was kind of battling that the whole time in the wet. This is a common occurrence with this car in particular with wet days. I don't know why. I still haven't figured it out. I still didn't figure it out from when I stopped driving a fair few years back. So when we get the car back up and running, when we end up tweaking it and playing around with it, we're going to start focusing on that balance and making sure that the car handles and feels great.
Where's the heater, man? Where's the heater?
I know! It's so wet. It's ridiculous. Nah, R154 to my heater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking so slippery out there, man. It's bad. So I can't do anything. As soon as you come on boost, it just loops.
Turn the boost down, all the way.
I have.
0 pounds of boost.
Zero pounds. Take the wastegate out.
So we tried a single flick initiation there on the camber, and to be honest, it kind of doesn't really work unless you're carrying a lot of speed. Man, I absolutely love the way the car sounds now. When it's on wastegate, when it's on limiter, it just sounds so aggressive. So this is the first track day that was basically available for us to drive. The car was only tuned literally a few days prior to this. I'd entered the track day thinking, alright, I'm just going to enter the next track day, which will give me a deadline. I can get the car finished and we can get out on the track and actually test out this 1J conversion. It was a competition day, but we weren't really there focusing on competition. We just only wanted to get as much seat time as possible. We did have qualifying, we did have a top 32 battle, we ended up spinning out in it, but for the most part, our focus was the morning as well as the afternoon sessions.
Right. So
You reckon your dose is good? You should eat mine.
Really?
I fucking made mine Mickey Mouse again.
The second practice session, we ended up getting Scott in the car, and he gave us a couple of key pointers in terms of being able to drive a car with power in the wet. I'm so used to driving slow cars in the wet, so when I ended up having a little bit of power, I'm putting just a little bit too much throttle commitment, and I'm not actually keeping it committed in the power band rather than going a little bit under RPM, which is forcing the car to spin once it comes on boost.
She's for more under power.
Here we're actually following one of my other mates who actually has a very similar build to mine. It's a Sylvia with a 2JZ R154, so I was kind of using him as a speed gauge. We didn't have a speedo in the car at all. We don't have one at all at the moment. We had to rip the cluster out, so we got the big rev taco in there. So I really didn't know what speed I was doing. I was basically gauging how fast I was going off of what the car sounds in that specific gear. So we realized we needed to be a little bit slower, which would have helped us in the initiation.
That entry point.
Because this is a competition day, this is one of our qualifying runs. Now the car is completely teething, so we ran into so many issues. Basically had our heads under the engine bay for 90% of this day. We did do quite a substantial amount of driving on the track, but we were still tweaking and teething a few things.
Fuck! Serpentine belt.
So now that the competition part of the day is over, we decided to take advantage of the open sessions and the practice sessions in between the rounds. So we ended up getting Dean in the car and we went for a mammoth rip. This session ended up running for about 30 minutes and we got so much track time, we got so much more confident throughout this entire final practice session, where we were able to slingshot the car top of third gear into the main corner and then maintaining speed and going for that outer zone 2 and then hitting the clipping points.
I saw a lot of smoke coming from the front.
So did I. It must have just been your tyre grabbing the guard.
Yeah.
Because of the 1J, unfortunately we never actually changed any of our suspension, so the engine with all that extra weight actually dropped the front end of the car down a little bit, and because of the spring rates in the front, the car just really wouldn't handle that well over bumps. I ended up finding that even on just simple flat ground transitions, the car would actually bind up and the steering wheel would completely lock on me and I wouldn't be able to pull the car back out of it, which would force me to spin. You'll notice that a lot here in some of these clips. You'll see as I'm transitioning, the steering wheel literally will just lock up and I won't be able to move it until I've spun out and stopped the car.
Once I fix the steering, it's going to be mid. It's your entry, man. I think your entry's not right. Not right. You're not going wide enough down bottom, and you're definitely not going wide enough up top. You really need to stretch that top area. Really try and grab the wall up top. Don't grab it, you know what I mean? But you're way too shallow, and that's fucking up your entry into the right hand bend. Yeah. If you come wider, you'll be able to go in nicer.
Serpentine belt would actually jump off the actual tensioner because the tensioner was a little bit too loose, and that would only happen from clutch kicks. When coming into boost, it would be fine, but the moment I gave the engine a big jab with the clutch kick, it would force all that load to the front of the motor and it would spin the belt off. Slowly getting the hang of it, ended up working out that we just have to throw the car further up on the wall, which will help us through turn one. The main issue that we had was that we were coming up a little bit short, which is the steeper part of that corner, which then made the car bottom out, bind up, and I would just be fighting the steering wheel the entire rest of the run. That one a fucking beauty. Yeah. Fuck. run we decided to try and keep it in third gear the whole time, and we realized really quickly that we do need to go back to second as there's just too much wheel speed in third gear. And this is the final lap of this first 1JZ track day. Look, this day was full of highs, full of lows. We ended up what works, what's broken, what we need to fix. And yeah, man, I had so much fun on this day, just being able to finally drive the car after spending a year and a half basically building it from scratch, ground up, all over again. So it was phenomenal. I had a whole heap of fun. We ended up getting two of my good mates in the car, and we ended up going for a good old rip. The next track day, we ended up going to Winton Raceway for a winter Matsuri that spanned over 2 days, and we learnt a hell of a lot more about the car. We ran into absolute teething dramas. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stick around for the next one, and I'll catch you guys soon. Take care.
Running while you're doing, mate. Yeah, let it cool down.
Oh yeah, fucking oath. You reckon change them over?
Yeah, fucking oath. Or give it one more lap. Up to you.